Today we're gonna be talking about a whole 30 times Earth size. Spreads across the sun, blessing solar wind. So essentially this is a solar wind. This is a coronal hole. And what a coronal hole does is essentially it shoots solar wind out into space. And the coronal hole shoots charged particles at subsonic to supersonic speeds. The coronal holes pretty much send charged particles to the planets via a magnetic connection line, and each of the planets are connected via a magnetic connection line. I don't truly know if there are certain moons that have a connection to the sun too that we may not know of, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna leave that there. But essentially for the main, I guess you would say 9 planets, or whatever you want to say, magnetic connection lines are connected to each one of them, so they all get a nice stream of charged particles, which in turns inhibits a lot of processes throughout the planet itself, whatever planet you have. I mean, regardless, these molecules are going to react with the atmosphere, with the ionosphere, with the mesosphere, with the magnetosphere. It's going to interfere with all of that, and in turn change your planet internally, which, you know what I'm saying, can do. This coronal hole right here they found, this one 300 to 400 kilometers across, 20 to 30 Earths. I don't know, as you can see, just a small comparison of Earth. Earth would be creamed completely. The dangers of such a ginormous hole is that, one, it takes a longer time for it to rotate away from Earth. So in that time being, it's gonna literally probably be sending charged particles to Earth for like 3 days straight, just because of how tremendously big it is. Like, the smaller it is, obviously, the less you don't really know with because it can vary. Like, you could have a small coronal hole, but it's shooting at sonic speeds, supersonic speeds, and you could have a big one that's shooting at subsonic speeds. Like, it just kind of depends on the activity of the sun at the moment. But essentially, like I say, these are very important, especially for our civilization here on Earth being primarily technology based and not even in the right way. Something like this, especially on a grandiose scale, would completely fuck us up. Have niggas going back to Fred Flintstone ass, you know what I'm saying, type shit. Like, hey, this will shut everything in your house down. This will shut everything in your nation down. Probably not a few things that they got, you know what I'm saying? Because essentially they've been trying to get funding to cover their transistors and cover their transformers and cover certain electrical components, getting certain cages that can repel the radiation and the high electronic voltage that comes from the sun during these events that can cause a setback in our time here on Earth can be turned fucking backwards by this nigga. You see what I'm saying? So this ain't somebody you play with. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure you stay on your P's and Q's when you dealing with the sun, especially dealing with solar weather. Now, the sun through this event can cause multiple catastrophes if it really wanted to, depending on the velocity and depending on the strength of the coronal wind and how long and how weak our magnetic field is. Like I say, even the way that the Earth is tilted a certain way where the BZ is, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the BZ also plays a role in how high of a geomagnetic storm that the Earth is gonna have. You see what I'm saying? So essentially, like I say, something like this hits Earth, travels through magnetic connection line. After it gets to Earth, it would cause auroras. Now they believe there should be auroras like all the way to New York, which again is very beautiful for us, but for nature lovers it's very beautiful. For niggas that don't really like nature like that, they're like, y'all more technological niggas, work niggas, you see what I'm saying? Like, something like this would destroy your world, really. Like, for example, if the entire planet was engulfed by the aurora borealis, that would be the day that niggas could not hop on their fucking phones. Do you understand how much radiation gotta do you understand how much radiation gotta do your shit? How much radiation gotta seep into your planet? How much radiation is pretty much compressing your magnetic field to where your entire planet has an aurora? Do you understand, like, the amount of, like, that's like G5, G4 on a scale of geomagnetic storm. That's not really a game, you see what I'm saying? But for me, it's gonna look beautiful, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what side of the spectrum that you really on, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm really waiting for that type shit. But essentially, something like this, when you see it in more non-localized areas, like, there are certain planets out there that have local auroras, like I think Enceladus may have local auroras, either Enceladus or Io, one of the two. I believe in both of them could have, but localized auroras, where certain places, for some reason they're even trying to figure that out, are more prone to auroras than others. And even there are times where those places would be having these auroras, but the poles won't even have them. You see what I'm saying? So depending on where auroras are on the planet, that can also lead you, there's a trail that's being left on why for that certain area. It's actually very important. If the aurora is, let's say, 15 degrees under, 15 degrees higher, like, all that shit matters, because that can tell you what's going on in the upper atmosphere. That can tell you maybe what's going on inside the planet that's causing that. Who knows if internal auroras are also possible of happening? I believe so. But just to keep it quite simple, you got this shit. Things like this, these coronal holes, when they bombard a planet like Earth, cause earthquakes. They can cause volcanic eruptions. How they cause earthquakes, I mean, they can cause movement within the crust, because they say that the energy passes through the earths. They allow it to hit certain crystals and certain material that gets excited and ends up shifting because of the excitement, which is another process that they gotta look more into. With the excitement of solar flares and the excitement of charged particles on the I guess you would say, our crust, or the effect that it has, you know what I'm saying, on our geology internally, or geography internally. But essentially, from earthquakes to volcanic eruptions, from crazy storms, you could even have storms that move back, that spin the opposite way. The sun controls every aspect of Earth that you can possibly imagine, from DNA. Oh my god, from life on Earth itself. I mean, y'all niggas even say without the habitable zone, which I'm talking about that on the next one. Without the habitable zone, I mean, there's no life. I'm on y'all ass, but I've been on y'all ass, so I don't really, you know what I'm saying, like, that's a whatever topic. I've been socking y'all niggas out for years on that shit, you know what I'm saying, like, socking y'all niggas out. Let me see. By the end of the week, this is supposed to come and hit. The only dangers I would say with this, we're supposed to be seeing this around Washington through New York's. People around those areas should be seeing auroras due to the Magnetosphere looking like this. My niggas getting... You see all the pressure. You see the tremendous amount of pressure. So as you can see on the white moon crescent side, that would be the daylight facing side, so the sun facing side. The black moon crescent side would be obviously the dark side. And as you can see, there's always more pressure behind the fucking planet for some odd reason. I don't know if there's due to the way that the solar wind is moving and the way that it's moving through the magnetic field lines and how it's interacting with the magnetosphere, and how it's causing ionospheric coupling, decoupling, whatever processes that internally it's doing to the magnetic field. I don't know why it in turn just causes the backside, because I've noticed this long term that the backside is always the side on Earth that's getting pounded, and it's not even the sun facing side. And that will be even with times of serious flares coming from the sun. For some reason the opposite sun facing side is the side that's getting completely fucked. You see what I'm saying? Like to just say the least. I mean, but essentially, yeah, this is dealing with pressure. Then again, you got the density right here, more density on the backside of the planet, more anomalies. I don't really truly understand why the backside of the planet is so tremendously densified. I don't know if there's something back there that's... I've seen a few charts that show solar wind going the opposite way after it reaches like a few, I don't know the real distance, but probably a few 100 to 3, probably 400, yeah, probably 500 kilometers past Earth. 600, it starts reversing. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is causing it to reverse and come back to Earth and smack Earth again? Like, that shit weird. I don't know if that's in turn what's happening. I actually do not know, but again, you can see the velocity mainly on either on the upper sides or on the back side where the magnetic reconnection is. The front side is normally, I guess, cool. The front side be chilling, sun facing side be chilling. But like I say, there's a lot of things that involve there's a lot of things that go into I guess you would say how the sun's interaction with our magnetic field is in turn interacting us. There's a lot of things that have to happen. But in turn, when you see auroras, like depending on the color, that would just be this heavy stream of ionized particles interacting with your atmosphere's particles, whether those particles be neutral, heavy metals, whatever they be, that can in turn cause your colors to bloom. So like, depending on if it's ionized oxygen, it could be, you know, blue. Depending if it's ionized nitrogen, it could be green. See what I'm saying? Ionized zircon, or I don't know, something like that, you know, it could be pink or something. I don't know, like you really, it just depends on the ionized properties of the particles in your atmosphere. In turn is what gives you the color of your aurora borealis. But without the particle excitement, you're not gonna have aurora borealis. That's the only real way that I know. Excuse me. That's the only real way that I know auroras could happen. But essentially, right here, you kind of have what can happen during these things. So you got these things called geomagnetic storms. I kind of touched on it just slightly a little bit earlier. So it goes 1 through 5, KP 5 through 8, or KP 5 through 9. Really, it can go higher, but you don't need to go higher. Once you go to 5, just know you're done for. There's no need to look for 7 or 8. You're done for. So right here, G1 is a minor. KP 5, what you'll see is weak power grid fluctuations. That really ain't shit. Right now, I believe we're in a G1 storm. So your phone might be a little slow, just slight shit. Like you won't really even notice it. G2 is kind of the same thing. You won't really notice too much. It also gives you a summary of how many times we essentially get these 130 days for G3, 360 days. Out of the 11-year cycle, we get a G2. You see G3, voltage corrections, okay. False alarms triggered, yup. Okay, other systems, satellite navigations, low frequency radio navigations, problems may occur. High frequency radio may okay. Yeah, who cares? All you know is all your, like I say, technological, all of your technological, I guess you would say, pieces of equipment are done for, depending on the severity of the geomagnetic storm. Ooh. Excuse me. So for G4, you got 60 days. Possible widespread voltage control. Yeah. This is when they start blaming other countries for shit. China EMP'd us. You know what I mean? Like, this is when they start. Right, because y'all niggas don't know, so it's easy. Like, y'all don't pay attention to space weather like y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, on your iPhone, you could turn that bitch on and nigga, I got weather on my lock screen, and I got motherfucking weather on my what's that shit called? On my home screen, on a little, what they call it, gadget. I don't know what the fuck you call that shit, but it's a shortcut, I guess you would say. Nigga, I got that. Nigga, you can't get no space weather shortcut, nigga. You think these niggas trying to really let you know that? Like, you think they really trying to, like, they really want you, like, bro, they'll fuck around and tell you this shit, give it like a 30-second segment, 60-second segment, and then they'll talk about something else for 30 minutes just to completely make you forget about the 30 seconds they talked about this important ass shit. They gonna fuck around and talk about, not even gonna get into it, but as you can see, this is what it is. Gigantic coronal hole. The black sun. Another thing y'all should know about coronal holes is they play a role in the sun's heliosphere. So coronal holes and solar wind, the solar wind is what, okay, so dependent on the activity of solar wind can depend on the distance from the sun to its heliosphere's end. So essentially, if the sun is more active with solar wind, the heliosphere will be a lot more bigger. If the sun is less active, it will become smaller. Right now we're going through some place in space that's very hot. The sun is now getting compressed, just as you see right here. Earth was getting compressed. You see what I'm saying? The sun is also now getting compressed. You see what I'm saying? Now the compression causes pressure causes changes. See what I'm saying? So you adding pressure to the sun's heliosphere, dependent on already the activity that it's going through, weakens the heliosphere, causing it to seep in these interstellar particles that are already out there, that are already tremendously heavy. That's can essentially be what's borderline causing a lot of the warming throughout the planets in our solar system. We already talked about global warming. Get the fuck up out of here. But I ain't even going, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to be a good kid this semester. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I don't need no write-ups, bro. I'm just here to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just here to, hey, I don't need nothing nice. But essentially, bro, if you understand what I'm saying, then you understand, nigga. This right here, though, these geomagnetic storms, very important. I'm outside when these happen. I need those particles. I need to feel that. The day, you know what I'm saying? I need to feel that. I don't be inside. For what? For what? For the blue light? You want me to be inside for the blue light? Okay, cool. You want me to be inside for the detrimental frequencies that are destroying even 5G. Y'all niggas don't even really know what that shit do to you. No, y'all niggas are composed of hella water. Do you know what water and frequencies do? Like, do you know that? Do you know the relationship between water and frequencies? I didn't think so. So essentially, like something like this, frequencies are very important. I gotta be outside. Those charged particles gotta rain on me. You see what I'm saying? Like, just like how, you know what I'm saying? Like how the hurricane rains, I gotta feel, it's gotta rain on me. You see what I'm saying? Like, sorry, you see what I'm saying? But essentially, beautiful planet we live on. You know what time it is when you see shit like this? Motherfuckers go inside. I'm outside. I don't know what that, I don't know. This tells me to go outside. When I see solar flares, if an X flare pops off the sun, I'm outside. That the moment I see the day that it's gonna touch down, I'm outside. Fun fact: the sun blew a solar flare on my birthday. The nigga blew an X flare. Y'all niggas better stop. Tell me that wasn't a birthday present for my nigga. Let me see. Should I just solar flux? Yeah, let me solar flux it for y'all. So essentially, you got certain, just like how you have geomagnetic storms 1 through 5, you have something called an X-ray flux, right? And essentially what your X-ray flux is it shows you how strong your solar flares is. So just like how you see right here, C flare, this A, B, C, M, and X. My nigga shot an X flare on my birthday. Hey, October 30th, the realest, the coldest niggas in the, realest, coldest niggas in the, you know what I'm saying? But nigga, this shit right here, X flare on a nigga. So I already knew my nigga was saying happy birthday, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate what you, I appreciate the knowledge that you show your people for, you know what I'm saying? Cause they don't pay attention to me like they should. And there's gonna be a day where I completely evaporate them niggas, and I would like for them to move out the way, or, you know what I'm saying, have some form of knowledge of moving out the way before I cream them. But if they're in the way, that's ignorance is not bliss. So essentially, I love the sun. The sun's my nigga forever, forever, forever. Nigga, Indigo 7 shit. You don't really talk, you don't really, you know what I'm saying? We don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Population 3, you know, you gotta understand what I'm saying. I'm on my really, like, yeah, yeah. But essentially, oh my god. So essentially, bro, if you rock with this house, let me know. Sun going supercharged. Let's see what my niggas talking about. Hopefully, when these charged particles come, I can get a glance at an aurora. If I can't, whatever, I'll look at some pictures. It's cool. But nigga gonna be outside. Hopefully y'all niggas get outside too, cause y'all need this, you know what I'm saying? But if you fucked with this house, let me know. 30 times the size of Earth, pretty big. I don't know what you wanna, 30 Earths across, back to back. Appreciate y'all niggas, and I'ma see y'all niggas.